Hi everyone, and welcome to I Am Illuminated Tarot. This is a place to better connect with and illuminate your own spiritual importance. I am Lauren. Hi and welcome to the weekend. So this is a special message that Spirit would like you to engage with as you move into the weekend. Now it's a pick a card reading, which I love because it helps you engage with your intuition. It allows you to actually open up to Spirit to gain some type of insight, and they're just fun. To be perfectly honest, it's these pick a card readings that actually kind of drew me in to the world of tarot to start, and it really opened up just a whole cool aspect of my life that I have been so excited about over the past few years. But they're just fun. And again, allowing you to flex that muscle of your intuition and to gain a little extra something to help you stay aware and present as you move through the weekend. All right, so for those of you who selected 1, 2, or 3, you can click on the timestamp in the description box below to hear your message for the weekend. Now these are meant to be fun, nothing too serious here. So what would Spirit like all of those who selected number 1 know? And you know what, actually I was using this deck. I think I feel more like this deck. I'm going to use the Energy Oracle today. So for all of you who selected number 1 for this weekend, let's see what Spirit would like you to keep in mind. And we always want to stay present with something that ties us as a unique individual to our external environment. Basically how we're engaging ourselves with our external environment, so that we're never kind of just forgetting who we are and that we're meant to stay connected. Okay, oh beautiful. So 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron. And it's a number 40 breaking down to number 4. So this weekend, Spirit would like you to stay open to kind of what you can see through the eyes of Spirit. Now, the 6th chakra, as you can see here in this image with kind of the dot right there in the forehead, is about your third eye. It's about being able to commune with Spirit, but be able to see through the eyes of Spirit, to see beyond what is. And this weekend is, I feel for you guys, all about being able to see beyond what is. You might find yourself in situations or moments where you might feel almost stifled. Like, this is it. This is like what's going on. I want more. And Spirit's saying, if you connect with them, where can you see past what is? And this could even be just in interpersonal relationships where you're connecting with somebody, maybe meeting up with a friend or a family member over the weekend, or even just talking to somebody in your own household. And that you're almost being asked to see beyond just their words, to see beyond that to maybe perhaps they're trying to express, but not in a way that is maybe coming from their voice, if that makes any sense, a way that they are actually expressing from their soul level. So there's this beautiful feeling coming through for me, for you guys, that this weekend is going to kind of allow you to see the beauty that is within the divine design that is all around us, if you choose to allow Spirit to kind of come in and show you that. And I feel that there's going to be something that is illuminated for you specifically at some point this weekend, and being able to see something you hadn't already seen, and that there's a reason why you're being asked to kind of step into that, because whatever you're going to be seeing is going to help broaden your perspective, and again, help find a way for your own spiritual importance to find a new avenue of connection to the greater life experience. Really pretty message. All right, I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you. Well, for those of you who actually are new to the channel, just so that you're aware, I am going to start posting February's comprehensive illumination readings for the month for all signs starting next week, so you can check that out. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and I will see you hopefully at some point in February. Bye, guys. All right, for all of you who chose number 2, let's go. Ooh. And 2 cards came right out as I said that, so we will take them. So we have two cards. We have Walking Away number 27 breaking down to a 9, and we have the Thinking Woman number 47 breaking down to an 11, one of my favorite numbers actually. So Walking Away and the Thinking Woman. I feel in seeing this that at some point this weekend for you, there is going to be a point where I think what Spirit's trying to say is you have been contemplating something. So now whether or not you are a man or a woman, or however you choose to affiliate yourself, there is a feeling here of you have been thinking, you have been doing your research, and that perhaps you've actually been working with Spirit. With the number 47 coming in, this is building foundations with Spirit. And breaking down to the 11, that's opening that doorway between here and what can be when we work with Spirit. So with the walking away coming in, and this, I always get this feeling, I know it's kind of like, walking away from what? It's not that you're walking away from building something with Spirit. I have this feeling that you're walking away from something towards what you've been building here. And there might be a moment this weekend where you're going to be asked to maybe fall back into a pattern or a habit that is not you anymore. As you've been kind of moving towards this and strategizing and planning and co-creating with Spirit, that there's something in your life that has changed. And Spirit's wanting you to become aware of that, to keep that in mind so that you don't turn away from what you've been working on, that instead you walk away from what no longer serves you. And you know, the number 27 breaking down to a 9, there's a feeling of completion here, of it's time to kind of close the door on something, a chapter in your life, a behavioral pattern, even just a negative thought pattern. You know, if you're co-creating with Spirit, that can help broaden your perspective and not be so closed-minded or closed off from seeing certain things. And with this coming in, with the walking away, there's this feeling here of her kind of leaving like a walled garden, and now all of the world, all of the universe really is kind of like the limitless possibilities are hers for the taking. And so there is something this weekend that intuitively is coming through that Spirit would like you just to be aware of. It's time to kind of make that big, bold move and stay solid and secure in who you are. And if you have to say no to something that no longer suits you as you are now, as you've been working with Spirit, then it's time to walk away from that. It's time to kind of close the door and turn your face towards all of the new possibilities waiting for you. Really beautiful message. All right, for all of you guys who chose number 2, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I will be posting February's illumination readings starting in actually next week on the 26th for all signs. All right, I will see you guys later. Bye. Okay, so for everybody who chose number 3, we are going to see what Spirit would like you to keep in mind or be aware of for this weekend to help you stay engaged as your unique, authentic self, and maybe even to unlock something about yourself. Let's see, so what does those of you who chose number 3 need to hear? Let's see. And the other 2 just popped out. Number 3, you guys are a little bit more, you're difficult. You're more of a discerning crowd. Let's see, what do those of you who chose number 3 need to hear? I'm just going to choose one if nothing wants to come out. All right, so we have, third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. And it's number 37, breaking down to a 10, further breaking down to a 1. Beautiful. This card really signifies the third chakra, obviously. But that third chakra is our solar plexus chakra. It's the chakra that is in alignment with our self. It can be linked to our ego, which sometimes people kind of grimace at, but the ego is our self. It is where we get a chance to step into that feeling of probably as close as we can get to really understanding our uniqueness and the power that we have that comes from our own uniqueness. And when you look at this image, there's the quality of him holding the power of the sun, the warmth of the sun, the creative ability of the sun, the nurturing component. Now, there obviously can hold true with that the opposite, which is the burning quality of the sun, that it can destroy as much as it can create. But I like to see this more as the beautiful glowing ball of a soul that each one of us has within us that makes us unique in a singular being. So I do feel for you guys intuitively for this weekend that, especially with the number 37 breaking down ultimately to number 1, there's this element of standing in your power as you, the one. And I think it's going to be a weekend where there's going to be something that's going to happen where you're going to need to really stand in your power, but remember what makes you unique and to not be afraid to utilize that, to stand in your kind of authority almost as, this is me, this is what makes me unique, and I'm not going to shy away from bringing this into situations or speaking about it if somebody asks me who I am or what makes me different. You know, we get sometimes put into these situations and we don't even realize we're kind of being asked that question. You know, when somebody says, just kind of off the cuff, like, oh, well, what do you do for a living? And you may be working on the next great American novel and slaving away at night and in between work hours and on your lunch break, but you tell somebody instead that you're an office manager. And you never once bring up the fact that you're a writer. And this is where we can lose our sense of power when we are stating to others who we are, what we do, and giving them an honest, truthful look at our lives. And, you know, no, you don't have to sit there and lie and say, I'm a writer. And then when they ask, well, what have you written? And then to sit there and either have to lie or say, well, nothing. And then they look at you with a confused expression. It's more about being able to let somebody know, if somebody asked you, let's say, okay, well, what do you do for a living? You say, you know, my day job currently is an office manager. I've worked at that for years, but it allows me to focus on what I'm really passionate about, which is writing. And I'm working on a novel right now that speaks to my experience, and I'm so excited, and I'm looking forward to trying to get it published in the upcoming year. Now, in that way, you told somebody exactly who you are and what's going on, but they have a better idea now of what makes you unique. You are not just an individual who is an office manager. You are somebody who is writing a novel that focuses on their experience. And when that person walks away and talks about you to somebody else to say, oh yeah, I met this person. Did you know that they're working on a novel? And that person says, oh, I didn't know. Well, heck, my friend's a publisher. Is she interested? Can I go back and check in with her? And this is how connections get made. This is how, when we express ourselves more confidently and express every aspect of ourselves more confidently, this is how we are able to start to unlock those pieces of ourselves, to engage that piece of ourselves with our external environment, and to allow others to engage with it as well. So maybe that person that you were speaking to does have a friend who knows a publisher who suddenly could help you have that connection in the right time to give you advice, or even be the person who helps publish your book. It's sometimes as simple as that, and we tend to push, mostly because of fear, we tend to push this part of ourselves kind of down, and we don't want it to be so bright. It can be a little scary sometimes with people being able to see our brightness. We think that we might either be outshining somebody, or that somebody's going to see too much of ourselves. And there is never, in my perspective, I'm sure some people would disagree with this, but in my perspective, there is never a time when you've seen too much of somebody, especially of their unique self, if it's truly authentic to them. All right, I think this is a beautiful message for you guys for this weekend. Be you. Don't be afraid to express who you are, to show it to others, and to do so in a positive and optimistic way, not in a way that might be kind of almost fearful, saying like, well, I'm a writer, but I haven't actually published anything yet. None of that kind of talk. Stand in your power as you. I am what? All right, for those of you who chose number 3, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And if you're interested in the February illumination readings, I will start to post those as of January 26th and into the first week of February. All right, bye guys.